Let's take a break from the options world and let's just check out Misti and see where it's at on the chart and what it did today. Hello my friends, this is Legend. So today we're just going to take it easy and we're just going to take a look at Misti and see where it's at today, what it did. Did it go up? Did it go down? Sideways? All around? I don't know. Let's check it out. All right, so here we are on the Webull chart, and we're looking at Misti right now. The closing price, and this is after hours, the closing price being $21.29. So it is only up 6 cents from Thursday. Market was closed on Friday, so today was the first day since Thursday, and it moved up a whopping 6 cents. Now, that's where it closed at. But look, we did have that candle move all the way up to as high as $21.88 and as low as $20.82. So as you can see those wicks, that's how far it stretched down and that's how far it did go up before coming back down and closing pretty close to about where we closed at on Thursday. So there was some movement on it, but it just kind of died down a little bit after the day. Here. Now you can see on the MACD, we are still getting a little bit more momentum. The Thursday momentum was about 0.24 and now we're looking at 0.27 on the histogram. So it is moving up. We are still moving up on that MACD as well. As you can see that blue line, it is still above that yellow signal line. So that's still a positive move, even though we had a red candle. And also notice this. What do you notice at the bottom of each from here to here to here? Give you a second to think about it. And the answer is we have higher lows. So we had a low here of $20.42. On Thursday, we had a low of $20.62. Today, we had a low of $20.82. So we are creating higher lows and higher highs as well. So you can also see that right here as well. So each one is a little higher than the candle before. That's a nice positive sign that we're moving up. Does not guarantee, but it is a nice positive sign. Now, the one negative sign to this is we have this resistance line right here to where we hit it right here, right? We hit that line and we did come on back down. And then we created our support line right here to where we were kind of basically bottoming out over here as well. So we've got that resistance line and look where that candle for today hit. Right on that resistance line. So we will see, can we break above that resistance line? Or is it going to push Misti back down a little bit? I'll get rid of those lines there because they really don't mean anything. I just wanted to show that you had higher lows and higher highs for those days. Pretty much since that big drop, we've pretty much created higher lows and higher highs for, I don't know, what is that, about 2 weeks right there, or a week and a half at least. But like I said, we are hitting this little resistance line right here at this 21.93. It would be nice if we can get that price or that candle to break that 21.93. It got as high today as 21.88. So it got really close to it, but then come on back down. But that's okay. If we can keep chipping at it, we can eventually, hopefully, break that resistance, and then we can start moving back up and start testing the next resistance line. And that would be somewhere around about the 22.50. Would love to see that and hope to see that happen. And as you can see, the RSI 14 here, which is that blue one, down here at the bottom, this blue number, as you can see, that's at a 56. So we're still really pretty much right in the middle of the RSI. Not overbought, not oversold. We can go either way. We are on the upper half of that Bollinger Band. I've still got that turned on, but we are still on that upper half. But who knows? that resistance line could push us right back down. I would like to see it break it and start moving on up. So while we're here, let's check out Mr. And Mr., you'll see roughly the same kind of thing here. We did break that line on Mr. a little bit, but then ended up closing down underneath that resistance line. So very similar to what we saw in Misti. It's not going to be exact because they're not the exact same thing. Misti follows Mr., but they are not one for one. One thing to note that was brought up by one of the other family members here was that Mr. does have an earnings date coming up, and I appreciate for that being brought out because it's easy to overlook when you're doing some of these videos. But we have a earnings date of May the 1st. And a lot of times when you get close to earnings dates, there's a lot of volatility. Now, we could get a lot of people to buy in on Mr. in anticipation of that good earnings call and this thing break on out. And it's very interesting that we are near this one and this one, right? And coming up on earnings date. So we could break on past both of these just because there's a lot of anticipation of a good earnings for Mr., but that's yet to be seen. Now we've still got a little bit of time. That's on May the 1st. Now, as it gets a little closer, we'll kind of get a feel of if people are buying into this in hopes that there's a good earnings date and they can really get some good premium and possibly even good price appreciation if they're buying the stock. And I know a few of you out there who are buying shares of Misti and Mr. And I can't hate that because you can play Misti as an income play and Mr. as a price appreciation. Or maybe you're just holding Mr. for the long term. That's up to you. You have to decide that for yourself. I'm only showing what I'm doing and what I'm seeing on the charts, but this is not financial advice for sure. So I think we could see some very interesting movements coming up here pretty soon, since there is an earnings call coming up, and that will be a week from this Thursday, May the 1st. So I'm very curious to see how things start moving. Oh, before we go here, let's just take a look at Bitcoin. Oh, very nice. Very nice. We've got Bitcoin back at 87K. So we've moved up some, and we are getting close to this resistance here as well, which is around about 88.8K. Be nice if we can break that. If we break that, I think we're going to see Mr. move on up, and then we've got the earnings coming up. This could be very interesting coming up. It's either going to jump and spike up, or we could cool off and fall down a little bit, back down to our support lines. So very interesting times coming up. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up right there. If you don't mind, please hit that subscribe button and the like button. It'd be much appreciated, and it helps the channel out more than you know. And as always, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence before you get into any stock plays. And until next time, Legend out.